Hi there, my name's Betsy and I teach yoga at the Maroubra Junction Fitness First in Sydney, and I've got some hip openers for you today. And in particular, I'm doing hip openers that oftentimes people are doing with a little bit too much pressure or strain. So I've got some props here to show you how to do it safely and also get the real benefits of getting a stretch in the hips. Now, if you don't have proper yoga blocks at your house, books work just as well. I've got my Spanish dictionary, my husband's Scrabble dictionary. Just make sure they're about the same size. And then I also found 2 cookbooks that are the same size also. So feel free to be creative in order to protect your hips and your hamstrings. And I've also just got a pillow. So the first pose is called bound angle pose, or Baddha Konasana. And I'm going to use my pillow today to sit on, because just by lifting the hips a bit, it's going to release that pressure on the inner thighs and also the lower back. I take my soles of my feet together, and you've got 3 different options here. For some of you, just sitting upright will do the trick. If you want to add a chest opener to it, feel free to lean back into the hands and lift the chest. Or you could always walk forward with the hands into a forward fold. Now, for some of you, this might really be causing some pain here in the inner thigh. That's where your blocks come in handy. You can prop them up here, and that tension will go away, and you're still going to get the benefits of stretching the hips and conditioning the hips also. So that was bound angle. The next pose I've got for you is called the half split, or Hanumanasana. Coming up on your knees. And I'll start with the left side. Extend the left leg out, and I'm on the heel of the left foot, and the toes are coming back towards me. I'm drawing that kneecap up towards the left thigh. Now, when you hinge forward, some of you might be able to get your hands to the floor, keeping the back straight. However, if you need to, get your props, and you can rest your hands on your props. This is going to be a lot more comfortable for quite a few of you. And then be sure to do the other side. Next is cow face pose, or Gomukhasana. And it's a little tricky to get into, but we'll get there. So I'm going to start with the left side. I tuck my left foot under the right leg, and you can see my toes. Here we go. There on the other side. So that left knee, I've got it pointed directly straight ahead. And now the right leg, bring it on top, and it's like I'm trying to line up the kneecaps. And I've got my both feet flexed. Now, if you're feeling this in the top leg, grab a block, grab a pillow, and prop yourself up a bit. You're still going to get a stretch over here in the side glute, but you're not going to put pressure on the tendons or ligaments. You can stay like this. You can walk your hands forward if you'd like. That's definitely going to intensify the pose. Or if you want to do the cow face hands, bring the arms out to the side. Now I've got my right leg on top, so it's the right arm that comes on top, and then meeting the hands up the back of the spine. Okay, the next one is called a wide angle forward fold, or Upavista Konasana. Make some room here. couple of variations to work out with your foam blocks. Legs are going to come out wide. Feet are flexed again. And I'm drawing those kneecaps towards the hips. Now, if this is hurting sitting upright, get yourself a block or a pillow. I'll go ahead and do that for demonstration. That's going to make you feel a lot better. Now I know this pose, everyone is, not everyone, but a lot of people are traditionally scared of it because they say they've never been able to touch their toes or they can't touch their head to the floor. Just remember that the pelvis is tilted uniquely in every person, and that's the way you're born. And women in particular, the pelvis is tilted forward a bit more than the man's pelvis. So for women, traditionally, they can fold forward a bit further than a man can. Also, if you're feeling pain under the knees, get some pillows or blocks under both knees. And just like we did in that very first pose, the bound angle pose, feel free to lean back into the hands and lift the chest or fold forward. And the last hip opener I've got for you today is the pigeon pose, Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana. And I'll get set up. And on this pose, the setup is quite important. I see a lot of people really just dive into it and their hips are all askew. So let's really think about getting the hips centered. I'm going to take my left leg and bring it in front of me and lay my left shin on the mat. And now I'm just going to kind of shimmy my knee, toe, knee, toe, knee, toe, until the right leg is back. Now, I'm going to look over my right shoulder to make sure that that straight leg isn't flailing out to the side. Some of you might want to keep it here. The bent leg, that hip might be floating too much, or it might feel too tense. Feel free to stick a foam block under there, or a pillow, or a cookbook. And if you would like, you can walk the hands forward and breathe into this stretch for a few times, for a few breaths. And walk the hands back up. Take that foam block out and gently roll on to the left hip, and you can swing the back leg around. And that's it for hip openers. Just remember, foam blocks, cookbooks, dictionaries, and pillows, they are your friend whenever you're trying to have healthy, flexible, and strong hips. Thank you.